Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5, Blueprint Mastery, Door Systems and Interactive Portals. So, previously we started to create our flow text blueprint actor. We added this blueprint in the map and we added a collision tube, a box collision inside the viewport, inside the components of the blueprint. And we demonstrated a little bit the node of component begin overlap, box 15, versus the node of the trigger box, which was a little bit simpler. Now, let's continue building this blueprint. The next components we're gonna need are a point light and a text render. Now, the point light, we need it to make the text a little bit more visible, if it was hidden or not. Not hidden, not visible due to lighting. And, well, make it stand out a little bit better. And the text render will be the text that we add to our text, like the same way we added step here to close the door, which actually we should bring. I'm gonna use Alt and drag some surface here and maybe put it a bit lower so the player knows where they're supposed to step. Let's make this a bit smaller too. It's fine here. Yep. And now we need to put this text above the door to say step closer to the door for it to open. Since we want to use this plenty of times, we are gonna use the construction script, which again, it's unique to Blueprint class. Well, to most Blueprint classes, as we said that the level blueprint is different compared to a simple blueprint. Most blueprint classes have the construction script. Construction script is used for doing things in the editor. It's very good to use for procedural generation and randomization, customization of assets. For example, right now we need to customize our text. Like every instance of this blueprint we're gonna bring to the world. Like if I duplicate this, we want the text to say other things in one instance and other things in the other instance. So this is the same blueprint, but we have two instances with different text. One way to do this would be to utilize this construction script. We're gonna get our text render over here. I just drag and drop it. Quick tip for this would be if I hold Control and drag and drop, I'm getting a getter. If I'm holding Alt, I'm getting a setter. As you saw, I dragged and dropped it from here. It's the same thing. It's our text render. If I rename this text render you can see it's getting renamed also here. So components tab, components list in variables. We won't bother with a setter, yes. We're just gonna use the one getter and we're gonna set text. The difference between this set text and getting this set text render my would be that this refers to the value, let me choose the text render, the value of text, where this refers to the entity of text render. So this would change if I had presetted variables with text renders, I could change it like this. Anyway, a little bit confusing. Right now, we're just gonna do the value of the text render. Again, different details when I'm here, different details when I'm selecting it from here. I don't need to be on the viewport, it would be the same thing, but different details from a variable perspective and different details from a component perspective. Now, let's continue. Construction script, we need to change our text value. So I'm going to promote this to a variable and it already named it for us value. We're going to add the text in front of it, text value. And what we're going to do is use this button over here, instance editable, or find it over here and use the eye over here. You can see it auto-clicked instance editable with the eye over here. We're going to also expose it on spawn just in case we are spawning this blueprint. Well, we're not going to spawn it, but if you want to spawn this blueprint, you would have this exposed. Now, I'm going to compile and save and go back to our map and demonstrate what we just did. We have this text value, and whatever we put as a value here would be our text. Right now it's empty, so if we go to our viewport, we can see that there is no text. It actually disappeared. If I press here 1, 2, 3, we can see 1, 2, 3. So whatever we add as a value to this variable, we can actually see it corresponding to our text render. And this is happening through construction script. Now, this means that it happens before the game runs, before I press play. And another thing is that we pressed instance editable and expose on spawn. So, if we click on these blueprints and go to the details over here, let me make it a little bit bigger, we can see on the category default a text value. To be more sure, let's type my text value. And we can see that this changed the name, my text value. So this is our variable. So whatever I write here, like hello, hi, it's gonna become the new text. And here we can see the definition of instantiating, like one blueprint says hi, the other blueprint says nothing. And type hello, and this one says hi, and this one says hello. So, making the variable public or exposing it actually instance editable gives us the opportunity to change the variable over here. Now, the category default, it's another thing. When we go to the variable itself, we can see there is a bunch of details here. One of the details is the category. We can categorize our variables and keep, like, these ones are components, they are on components, like list. If I add this one to a category called, let's say, text, now we can see that this belongs to the category text. As well, if I go outside here, and actually I need to compile to see this change, we can see that instead of default, it says text. We could do a bunch of settings here to set the position of the point light, the text, and box, but we won't be going that far into construction script. What we can do though, and it would be easy, is to bring the point light and set intensity and let's say give it a default value of 1000, and now promote this to a variable. Let's leave it new intensity. Let's change the category also to light, and also set color. You might want to set a different color. Let's set the default value to white. Yeah, white, why not? And let's promote this to a variable, new light color, and instance editable also, and category. Now, instead of changing the category here, what I can do is just drag and drop it here, and it entered this category. Now, let's bring this here. Actually, I can just duplicate this. Now, having this option instead of one and dragging another cable is also valid. It doesn't create a problem. It even makes it a little bit clearer on what is what. The other thing I wanted to explain is why I pressed a default value here and then promoted to variable. Well, when I do it this way, if I compile, the promoted variable, new intensity, keeps the value that I had as a default one, and the color would be white also. So now, if I go, I didn't click on this to be instance editable. Let's expose them on spawn, maybe for some more advanced use, and compile and save. Let's go to our map, and now we can see the text category and the light category over here. We don't actually need both of them, we just need one for now. And let's set up a little bit the positioning. So, what do we want to achieve here? If I have it selected, I can choose the components of this blueprint. If I choose this door, I can choose the components of this blueprint. If I choose the wall, I can choose in the details the components of whatever I'm choosing. What I'm gonna do is choose the box. So when the player moves towards the door, because there is nowhere else to move, will trigger this box. I think this is a nice place to put it. The player might jump, so let's make it a little bit taller. So they will go through this box. Let's get the text. Let's, oops, I'm gonna get it from here and rotate it 90, and let's set a text also. Let's say, come close to open the door. Nothing changed. Okay, my mistake. I must not do that to the text render. I must do that to the blueprint, my text value. Come close to open the door. Alrighty, and let's move this text above the door. And let's make the phrase a little bit shorter. Let's just name it approach to open. Again, same mistake. It should be on the blueprint, not the text render, because we override this text render from here. So approach to open. I think open needs 1p. So approach to open. Let's select the text render again. Place it a little bit better. And let's bring also the light above it. So it makes the player look at the new light spot, lit spot. Okay, I think setting it up, let's see how it looks. Great. The next thing we should do is a little bit of functionality, but I think this is a good stopping point. We set it up, we created the other components, we set it up on the map, and I think this is a good stopping point. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Goodbye.